Ho 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 ho! You're in for a big shock when you've seen what I've done to our side. A massive shock. This guy gone. This man out of here. Him get out of here. Not here anymore. And more players have gone as well. So stick around. Let's see what I've done. Here we are then. Welcome back to a brand new episode of the AC Milan Football Manager 2021 Awake the Sleeping Giant series here with me. And as you can see, and as was promised in the previous episode, a lot has changed. If you haven't watched the previous episode, I would recommend going over and going to watch it so you understand where we finished, what my overall plans were, and then you can sort of compare whether or not I've managed to do what I wanted to do at the end of last year. So obviously in the previous episode I did say I wanted to make a lot of changes with our side, and I had every intention of doing that, and thankfully I've got the players that I wanted to get in, and with some massive players leaving as well. So we are going to start out with the players that have left for massive money, and there's probably some players there that you're very surprised that have left just because the amount that they went for, really. I mean, we're going to start off with two players, I would say 13 players have left, which I think you'll be surprised by. The first one is Theo Hernandez. And I did say last year that I wanted to keep him and build my side around him. Now, the problem with Theo is that it was 60 million. It was 60 smackaroons that I just couldn't turn away. And obviously, he had an okay year last year, but he didn't really flatter to deceive. Is that the right word? I don't know. It probably is. But regardless, naturally, I am quite disappointed to lose Theo here. But, I mean, as I said, 60 million was a lot of money. And I do think the player that we have brought in to replace him is for essentially a like for like. I think he's a little bit of an improvement, if I'm honest. On Theo, he's a little bit older. You might have seen him initially when we were actually at the transfer screen. You'll probably sort of get an idea on who it was. But yeah, 60 million, he was the first to go. And then we did have a few freebies that left. Not really anyone major other than Matteo Musasho. But the other big one was William Carvalho. And I did say last year that I did want to get rid of him just because, once again, he had a pretty poor year for me overall. Didn't really do what I wanted to do. And getting on a bit as well. 29 years old, you don't have much, especially in the position he plays as well, that requires a lot of sort of physical good attributes and a lot of agility and stamina. We're only going to get probably 2-3 years more out of him, and I felt £29 million from Real Madrid, who Real Madrid seem to be just getting players that are really old, apparently. Not sure how he's going to fit into their side. Obviously, they bought Salah. Wow. Okay, then. They also bought Mbappe and Hazard. I mean, apparently Madrid are going to be absolutely unreal. No, but, 90 million pounds. Sorry, £90 million for a player that was going to be probably a bit part player for me this year. It was pretty nice. And then Hakan Calhanoglu, once again, another player that I wanted to get rid of. Not a great year, once again. £30 million Inter. He's going to be a divisional rival in this year, so we are going to play against him at some point, and hopefully he doesn't come back to bite me. But once again, I brought someone in of much better quality and younger as well. As you can tell from my sort of the way I'm speaking and what I've said, is that I look to get younger players in because I felt like AC Milan's squad, for the majority, the core of the squad from last year was pretty old. So I've tried to replace them with some pretty young prospects and some pretty young players that we can potentially sell on for a lot of money in the future. Lucas Moura, once again, sort of fell victim to my I want to get rid of older players, and the victim of he was terrible last year. So only scoring 6 in 29, 2 assists, 6.72 rating, 15 million. So we did lose a lot of money on him. However, I'm not entirely bothered because I think 15 million, once again, for a player that isn't that great and it's probably going to decline within the next 2 years. I'm pretty happy with it. And then the massive one, this one hits me hard, right in the feels, as they would say, right in the feels, is Alessio Romagnoli. Once again, 2 players that I said I didn't want to lose, I have lost in Hernandez and Romagnoli. But the amount of money United offered, 55 million. I think they came in for initially about 30 million. And then I did the typical, if I ask for loads, they're going to reject it. And then he'll kick up a fuss and then I'll sort it. I mean, I'm basically a poet. Yeah, I'm basically a poet, viewers, blimey. I mean, I should do this for a living. I'm not a poet. I should definitely not do poetry for a living. No, but £55 million was a lot of money. I didn't expect United to accept, but for someone that is good but isn't impossible to replace, I was pretty happy with that. And once again, we brought in 2 centre-backs that I think are going to strike up quite the partnership. So they are all the outs. I'm pretty happy with my outgoings, 104 million brought in to the squad. On top of my transfer budget as well, allowed me to do a lot of manoeuvring in the transfer market. We are going to go to the ins now. Let's go. Okay, the outs are done. Let's go on to the ins. And there's some of these names that you're going to recognise immediately. So we're going to start off with 2 players from Benfica. The first one is Florentino Luis. And this was the guy that I wanted to replace with William Carvalho. 22 years old. Fantastic attributes. Really, really good personality as well, and model citizen. As I said, if we compare him to William Carvalho, William Carvalho is probably better physically, but William Carvalho is a little bit better physically and a little bit more smart on the ball and decent at defending as well. You got to remember that Carvalho is 29 years old. Florentino Luis is 22 years old, so definitely has a lot of room to grow. And I think if this guy's were used correctly, it could be absolutely brilliant for us this year. I am going to be playing him in that defensive midfielder role. As you can see from his attributes, to play that, he plays it pretty perfectly, and he's got the attributes that I wanted from most of my players: determination, work rate, teamwork, and he's got a really good personality as well. So I'm really happy with this guy. 22 years old, obviously a little bit of a not regen. Why do I always call people regens? A little bit of a wonder kid on FM the past few years. So we'll be able to see if we can get him to his potential with me this year and probably beyond. And then the guy to replace Theo Hernandez was a player that I think most people on FM have probably managed at some point, just because of how good he is at an attacking fullback position, is Alex Grimaldo. Now, on the left-hand side of my formation is where I want my fullback to attack, and the right side I want them to defend. So there's only one going up the pitch. And Theo Hernandez, although he's good at attacking, he's nothing on Alex Grimaldo. Obviously, he's not great defensively, you'd say. I mean, saying that, he's got 15 tackling, 11 marking, not great heading. However, I don't necessarily want Alex Grimaldo to do that much defending. Obviously, in the position he is, he's going to have to get back. But I want him to be able to affect the play from further up in the on the pitch. And with these attributes, man, he's going to be absolutely brilliant. Obviously, if we compare him to Theo Hernandez, pretty similar. Theo's a bit taller, Theo's a bit quicker as well. But overall, you'd probably say that Alex Ronaldo is same on par with defending with Theo, but much better attacking, which I'm really looking forward to see how he affects the game. Now, the next player is Gaeto Castrovilli. Now, my thinking about getting this guy is I want someone in the middle of the pitch that has sort of like, it sounds stupid, right? But the De Bruyne role, you know, the Xabi Alonso sort of role where, I mean, they're sort of 2 different players, but you get my gist, where they essentially have free roam of what they want to do and they just let their attacking instincts affect the play. And the guy that I thought I could get was Gaeto Castrovilli. And I looked, this guy is not going to be defending. This guy is going to be an all-out attacker, and I was looking for technique, vision, passing, flair off the ball. So as you can see, these sort of attributes are going to be dribbling, first touch. So someone that I'm going to be expected to free roam in the side. I think he's injured at the moment, actually. He is suspended, God's sake. But you'll understand what I mean when we do play him. But we're looking for him to free roam around the pitch, get where he wants to go and affect play the way he wants to. So I'm really looking forward to see how this guy is. And only for 20 million as well. And he's had a pretty good pre-season with 5 goals, 5 assists in 5 games. And then Andres Christensen. Most Premier League fans will know who he is, and probably most football fans really. Centre-back, this guy was transfer listed. Nothing special about getting this guy. He was transfer listed. We got him for 13.75 million, and I think that's an absolute bargain for the quality that Andres offers. Going to be a first teamer. Ball playing defender, 14 passing. Once again, he's got okay determination work rate for the sort of team that I'm trying to build. Good positioning, really good centre back. And then the 2 main attacking players. Now, I have decided I am going to keep Zlatan for this year just because of the position I want to play him in. Will help Neres and Corona, the 2 players that I brought to get us the goals. First one, David Neres. I've always been a massive fan of David Neres in real life, and I really always wanted to manage him, but unfortunately I've never had the chance to. 24 years old, absolutely fantastic winger, really, really good. Obviously, really great physically, technically decent as well, and mentally he's pretty promising as well. 17 flair, 15 off the ball, 17 dribbling, 14 finishing, 15 first choice, 15 first touch. And then alongside him is going to be Jesus Corona. We bought this guy for a lot of money, right? 23 million from Porto. Obviously, he's on the older side of players that I like to get, but the quality he's going to be able to give us on the pitch alongside Neres is going to be absolutely fantastic. Very similar to Neves as well, I believe. They're going to be both playing inside forward and winger. They are a little bit different, to be fair. I'm hoping these 2 can sort of affect the game the way I want them to. And then Joachim Anderson, centre-back. I think this guy was transfer listed as well. We bought him for 19.5 million, so it's going to be the first choice centre-back alongside Christensen. I'm hoping these 2 can sort of pick up a little bit of a partnership at the back and sort of see be able to improve our defence dramatically from last year. And hoping the likes of Neres and Corona are able to improve our attack as well. But we'll have to wait and see. But they are all the ins and outs. Shake it all about. I don't ask. So let me know what you think of the players that have come into the side and left. Let me know if you think I've done okay, if you think I've done terrible. Let me know. I'm very curious to see what people are saying, and let me know your suggestions of players that I might need to bring in. So in terms of the pre-season, it's been a pretty decent pre-season for us. We haven't actually lost a game. We beat the likes of Madrid and Zebra, which is, I think Zebra probably played a second string side and Madrid probably did as well. However, our morale at the moment, beat a team 15-0 with plenty of hat-tricks. But our first competitive game that I didn't want to play on screen because you'd expect us to win, right? Was against Maritimo in the Euro Cup, like 4th qualifying round. So I'm not going to show them because you expect us to win. But our first game is going to be against Verona. They did finish mid-table last year, 14th. We are at home as well, so you'd expect us to get a win here for our first game. And in terms of the tactic, I'll quickly show you what I meant in terms of Castrovalli playing in that free run position. There's this centre mid attack, so I take more risk, dribble more, roam from position. Unfortunately, we haven't got him in today. However, it looks like Krunic can play that role okay. I feel like. I mean, we haven't got any decent centre mids. This is the problem. Right, that is going to be a little bit of an issue, I feel like. But we're gonna stick with this side. Obviously, Benecchia is not going to be able to play this game, which is slightly annoying. So we're going to have to play Samu Castillo in that deep line playmaker role, and then we've got Corona, David Neres, and Zlatan Penaprovic up top, and Grimaldo, Anderson, Christensen, and Calabria in the back 4, and then Donnarumma in goal. So there's only Zlatan and Calabria and Donnarumma have actually survived the massive sort of overhaul I've done of my side, which, is to be expected, wasn't it, really? I mean, we finished 7th or whatever it was last year. I'm not having that. We're winning the league. Mark my words. I'm marking my territory. I'm not weeing on it. That's disgusting if you're thinking that. I'm marking my territory, put my foot down. Put your foot down, Alex. See this? Put my foot down. So we are at the day of the game, and we are obviously struggling a little bit for our first teamers. We do have two of our main midfielders out for this game, which is a little bit annoying, but at least we're going against a side that probably don't have the same quality as us, and I'd fully expect us to get a win here with the acquisitions we've made. Make sure, like, if you've got a score prediction, once again, feel free to put it in the comments. If you get it right, you get a high five. Exactly, just like that. Like, or a fist bump if you want a fist bump. You ready? Right, everyone has to fist bump together. 3, 2, 1, fist bump. There we go. Yeah, we love the fist bumps. We love the fist bumps. Right, let's go into the team talk. Right, there no players there that I recognise really. No one on the bench either of particular note. And we're going to say to our side here, we should be winning this one. And we're going to go into the game. Right. Are you ready, viewers? I'm ready. And, oh, look at that beautiful screen. I mean, the AC Milan fans have came out in force. Not really socially distancing, but we'll take it. Here we go, boys. Let's go. Okay, there is a chance here, and it is a penalty. That chance sort of surprised me very, very quickly there. And it is a penalty. It's a set piece from the right-hand side of the pitch, and AAR is taking a look. And is it going to give a penalty? It does. And Zlatan with potential first goal of the season here. Can he get us off to a flying start? And he does with a calm, composed, accurate penalty into the bottom right-hand side corner. And that puts us 1-0 up after 12 minutes. And this is a fantastic start. And the keeper doesn't have a chance. I mean, even if he got further down to the side, Zlatan was pinpoint accurate, putting us 1-0 up after 20 minutes. And as you can see, it's quite an even game, to be fair, at the moment. However, we are having the better expected goals, which is very, very nice to see. They are playing quite a same formation as we always expect, viewers, so I don't know why I even pretended. We are going to go into, I mean, we might not go into full time with a in the lead here. I mean, I've realised it's quite slow, so, I mean, could be on the counter-attack, but it's a poor ball out. Let's speed up a tiny bit. And Lazovic on the right-hand side. And Suprona is going to hit it. And, I mean, you can't do anything about that. I mean, what a finish that is. From outside the box, Ricardo Saporona showing us why we can't get too complacent. I mean, Lazovic, I mean, it's a bit of bad defending there from Castello and Grimaldo there. So, not a particularly good start to Grimaldo's career. And, I mean, Verona are playing well here, despite having the better expected goals on our side. It's a great tackle, though. And Zlatan, I mean, Tecatito on the right-hand side. He is injured. Zlatan! And we should be burying that. Zlatan should be getting his head to that and burying it. And it's a big ball over the top. And Zakagni. And it's a great save by Donnarumma. I am aware that that went well. Pronunciation of names isn't fantastic. I am fully aware of that. But going into half time, it looks like we're going to go in at 1-1. And, oh, you are kidding me. Oh, God damn it. Right, that's an issue. Oh, if that's long term, I'm going to be so mad. Ante Rebic, I mean, I think he's going to have to be in it. I mean, what we could do, we could replace these. So Neres come on the right-hand side and Rebic on the left. And that's so frustrating. We've got 3 of our big players out already on suspensions and injuries. And this isn't, even if we win this, the main thing we're concerned about is the injury to, I mean, Grimaldo's just decided to leave the ball there. The big injury potentially to Corona, Jesus Corona, Zakanagi, Veluso. I mean, they're playing it round quite nicely here. Defensively, not great. Grimaldo, can he defend this? I mean, he doesn't. He literally gets nowhere near the man. And that... Oh... 2-1 away at home to Verona. I mean, that's so frustrating. I mean, you would say that we don't even deserve to be losing this. I mean, we haven't got a strong side. We haven't got the strongest of sides at the moment, which you could probably say is the main reason as to why we're potentially struggling a little bit. I mean, what I might do, I'm sorry, Rebic, you've literally just come on. I can only apologise. You've been on for 5 minutes and you've been taken off. But we've conceded and I need to panic. Can we get ourselves back in the game here? We are going to change to attacking. I mean, we're all over them, boys. Right, we need to do something here quite dramatically. So I think what we're going to do is go to a 4-2-3-1 gegenpress. Yeah, we're going to go to a 4-2-3-1 gegenpress, and we're going to do that. Try and get some more bodies up the pitch. And we're going to need to very quickly get a chance here. Otherwise, it's going to be our first loss. God damn it. Oh, that's so frustrating. I can't believe we've lost that bloody game. I mean, how serious is this injury? Oh, it's 4 days. You're kidding. Oh, right. That's annoying. Okay. Where is he? We need you back, and we need you back. So they are actually back. So we are going to give our boys a little bit of a rest here. Going to give them 2 days rest. I mean, we are at full strength now, thankfully. However, that's so annoying, honestly. At home as well to bloody Verona. I mean, what? That's incredibly frustrating. I mean, before we go to where we're going to meet next, let's have a look at some of the biggest transfers in the world. It'll be worlds. Oh God, where do I find it? Transfers, right. So who's the biggest transfer? João Felix to Man City, 125 million. Haaland to City. City are going ham. We're there with Luis. Isaac. I mean, you can if you want to look specifically, you can have a look, pause and have a look. But you got Savic, Liverpool. You got Salah going to Madrid. Dybala going to PSG. I mean, madness. So Ruben Neves going to Bayern. I mean, what a player! I would love to have him. I mean, blimey, some interesting transfers there. Jesus, Dele Alli going to United. Blimey, right? Shall we see where we're going to come back to next? I think we shall. So I think when we'll come back for the Spal game, because we would have played probably another Euro Cup game after Martimo. Then we've got Fiorentina, Bologna, Atalanta, and Udinese. So we'll get a good feel of where we are going to end up at the end of the year after these 5 games. So yeah, we're going to come back for the Spal game in just under a month's time. So I'll see you there. Once again, thank you all so much for watching into our second season with Milan. Make sure if you do like the video, please give it a like. If you like the content, please subscribe. It's very much appreciated. You know, you guys are absolutely amazing as always. But yeah, let me know what you think of everything transfers wise, where you think we'll finish, all that good stuff. And yeah, my Twitter and Twitch here, and I will see you in the next episode. Thank you very much for watching, and goodbye.